In this short recording, I'll show how to create a Lansweeper to ServiceNow synchronization job using the CI Sync user interface. For this particular job, I'll show how to include Lansweeper discovered Windows services so they are included as related lists against my CIs in the ServiceNow CMDB. Firstly, I'll show how to create a sync job in CI Sync, and then I'll skip over to a ServiceNow instance and show what the data looks like in my CMDB. Creating a sync job takes 5 simple steps. In step 1, I select my environment, test or production. I choose my source data, which is a Lansweeper Global SQL database, and then I choose my destination, which is my ServiceNow instance. In step 2, I select from a large list of predefined asset types and their related records. You can see here I have the option to select for Windows servers and Windows PCs the inclusion of Windows services. The specific list of Windows services that will be synchronized is defined by the customer and stored in the CI Sync configuration. This means CI Sync will only populate your CMDB with those key services you intend to make use of in ServiceNow, on dashboards, in reports, and as part of workflows. In this particular example, I know that Sentinel-1 endpoint protection has been configured as the service for synchronization. In step 3, I review the CI to CI relationships that will automatically be created in my ServiceNow CMDB. Unless there is a good reason not to, I'd suggest including all available relationship types so those ServiceNow dependency diagrams come to life. In step 4, I can either schedule this as a synchronization job or I can run it now. And finally, in step 5, I get to review my selections and then click Go. The relevant cloud services will dynamically spin up, and shortly my CMDB will be updated and my Windows servers and PCs will include a related list showing the status of the Sentinel-1 endpoint protection service. That's how simple CMDB automation should be. I'll let the job run for a moment and then I'll skip over to a ServiceNow instance to show the results. To complete this demonstration, I've toggled over to a ServiceNow instance to show the Lansweeper data synchronized into the CMDB using CI Synchronizer. You recall we selected Windows services to be synchronized via CI Sync. Let's see where that data arrives in the CMDB and how it can be used. First, I'll open a Windows server and scroll down to its related lists. In particular, the Windows Services related list. As you can see, the service that represents the endpoint protection solution, in this case Sentinel-1, has been added to the related list of this Windows Server CI. Importantly, this tells us 2 things. We know the server does indeed have Sentinel-1 installed by the presence of the service. However, we can see that the service is in a stopped state. The server is therefore at risk because its endpoint protection software isn't running. Equally, if the service wasn't showing here at all, we would know the server doesn't have Sentinel-1 installed. With this data in the CMDB, we can create dashboards and reports to identify at-risk devices, and we can create workflows for remediation tasks for the teams that support this particular server. Just quickly while I'm on this screen, and in case you haven't seen some of our other presentations, have a look at the dependency diagram of this server and then the switch it's connected to. Here's the server. It's connected to 2 switches. If I drill down into this particular switch, which I know has a lot of devices connected to it, it's quickly to see the power of what CI Sync is doing with Lansweeper data by way of rendering the network topology associated with this particular server. Thanks for watching, and I hope that shows the simplicity and sophistication of Lansweeper and ServiceNow CMDB integrated using CI Synchronizer. If you want to solve CMDB automation, reach out to Lansweeper and Syncfish, and thanks for watching.